Welcome back to Inside Politics. Our guest today is Nashville Mayor Megan Barry. Mary, you've said as a result of your disclosure about this affair that you're going to fully cooperate with all the investigations. Does that include appearing to testify before the special counsel committee that's being put together, even if you're not subpoenaed?
I will do whatever I need to do to cooperate with all the investigations.
So you're willing to appear in person if that's what's required?
If that's what's required.
The ethics complaint's also been filed against you that says basically because of your affair with the police sergeant, it swayed your judgment about other policies involving the police department, particularly the police review board. Do you find that charge on its face to be credible?
I think that if you think about how we set policy in Nashville, this is a great example of where we have engaged lots of stakeholders. The community, we actually went out and talked with and are bringing in the policing project out of New York to actually get a fair and balanced way to move forward on policing in our community, and that involves lots of different stakeholders.
Sergeant Forrest did not have any impact or discussions with you about police policies?
Well, I talk with my staff about lots of different things, and so we're always focused on trying to do what's best for Nashville. You
also seem to make a recommendation for his adult daughter to receive a job in the legal department. That would seem to be on its face a violation of the ethics policies that you put out for all Metro employees back when you first came into office. Is that another judgment issue?
I think that, if you, first of all, this young woman does not deserve any of this publicity or scrutiny. She is an amazing lawyer. She started her career with Metro way before I ever got there. She was recommended by many, many people in the community to have this job, and she deserved that job, and she got that job on her own.
All mayors need to have a working majority in the council to show that they're strong and that they can get things done. At last Tuesday's council meeting, 30 of the 40 Metro council members, 39 in office right now, voted to create this special committee. That's a pretty rare use of council powers. Does it also an indication that perhaps that you've lost confidence in the council has lost confidence in you?
I'm, a former council member, and I totally appreciate that the council has a role to play here, and they want to play it, and I fully support it.
Well, in another context, not the mayor you served under, but a mayor in general, had you still been in the council, would you have voted for this?
Sure.
This resolution?
Yes.
So you would have voted in this
Absolutely.
case to
the council wants some accountability.
Same situation with the mayor.
Council wants accountability, and they deserve that.
The council also approved, actually by larger numbers than they did on second reading, the transit vote to go forward.
Yeah.
But they did put a amendment on it that your administration opposed. In fact, the council defeated it 2 weeks ago on second reading, then added it, and that would put the two numbers on what the costs are, the roughly $5 to $6 billion costs for the capital expense to build it, and now close to $9 billion cost that's total. You thought that was confusing, yet this time it didn't appear your administration tried to strongly oppose it.
Well, actually, they changed the amendment. So after they changed the amendment, for us, it's about getting this on the ballot, which is exactly what we wanted them to do, and they did it. I'm so grateful that the council was able to say, you know what, we need the voters of Davidson County to be able to vote on this, and they're going to be able to do it.
So you don't feel this amendment being added and what the language is going to be on the ballot is some kind of poison pill that's going to make it more difficult for you to pass this referendum?
Not at all. I think that people who understand our traffic problems and our transit future absolutely understand that we have to vote yes for this.
You've been the chief spokesman, the face, the heart and soul of this transit plan. In light of this scandal, do you plan to step back a bit from your role in that, or you continue to do it, even though some people might think you might be in a weakened position to be an advocate?
Well, here's where we are on transit, and again, it's so exciting that this is where Nashville is. This is a Nashville plan. This predates me coming into office, and this is going to go on for the next 30 to 40 years after I'm way gone, and so is this council. I think that what we have now are the voters of Davidson County are going to be able to say that they want transit.
Well, sometimes voters decide to use elections and referendums to send messages. Some people say this transit vote will now become a referendum on you. My question is, what do you say to those people to get them to vote for it, even if they don't like you?
Well,
obviously you may have to do that.
Sure, and I mean, my hope is that people vote for this because they know that it's really important to Davidson County to have transit. And I'm not the only one who's out there speaking about this. Lots of folks are out there. There's a huge engagement to get folks to understand what the plan is and then to also vote yes.
While the council was voting on putting this on the ballot, there were members of the MTA union out making a protest that they say there's a lack of employee job training. There are already too few buses available, and that the ones that are being used may not be safe for them or for the citizens of Nashville to use them. How do you respond to that? It's a pretty serious charge.
This is a great opportunity for us to have more revenue to absolutely invest critical buses into the backbone of this transit program. So once that ballot initiative can pass in May, we can start to have revenue to address their concerns.
The third issue the council had before it Wednesday night that the council approved, but perhaps didn't approve it in the form you wanted to, and that was the additional money for General Hospital so that it can stay open. There's been a controversy about the future of General Hospital well, for a long time. It certainly came to a head once you announced you were going to close it as an inpatient, or wanted to close it as an inpatient facility and keep it only as an outpatient facility, as a clinic. The council gave them $17 million instead of the 13 you recommended. In normal times, the people would have been shocked at that, because mayors usually don't get bucked on that, yet they're bucking you on this. Again, is it a sign that you're having problems getting from the council what you need?
Well, I'll tell you that, you know, the finance department sat down specifically with the hospital administration, and the hospital administration gave them that number of $13 million. That's what they said they needed, and that's what we gave. Now, the Metro Council, I appreciate their deliberative process, has decided to give them more, and we'll go from there. We'll have to figure out the best way now to, without significantly impacting our fund balance, to make those decisions. We'll
come back to that after we take a break. Mayor Megan Barry's our guest. We're talking about the developments of the last couple of weeks involving her personal life and how it impacts her ability to be mayor. Back to continue our conversation after these messages.